What is going on, you guys? Today we are taking a look at the Transformers Generations Power of the Primes Deluxe Class Jazz. So before we get to Jazz, let's go over what's left of the packaging. It's just this big old beautiful picture of him, these Wheel of the Primes, Transformers. On the back of the box, you have all that. He transforms in 18 steps. How will the improvisational Autobot special ops agent wield the power of the primes? Get that out of here. Jazz comes with a collector card like all these other figures do. His, in particular, comes with Vector Prime. And Vector Prime allows Jazz to travel through time to experience all the music in the world. Jazz has some weird abilities with the primes. I'll say that right now. In the box, you get his prime armor, combiner hand thing, and a gun, which the gun can store on one of the 3 ports of the car. I like this one. But, yeah. So here's Jazz. An updated Jazz that we've been wanting for... Reveal the Shield was a couple years ago. For a couple years now. And I'm quite happy with this Jazz. Even though there's one glaring issue that everybody had with the toy, which I don't really want to cover, but like all the way up in here where you see this this black square right there. There's something in there so tiny that's causing such a controversy, which I don't care for. I can't see it, so it don't bother me. But yeah, he's got the pinstripe going down a good chunk of the car. I really wish it would have started here and went all the way down, but oh well. And I did kind of paint the rims silver a little. So, yeah. He's got translucent headlights. The thing I don't like about this, clear plastic. It breaks, especially since this is painted white. And he does have visible head syndrome. And visible that syndrome. Okay. Now, the prime armor you can store on here one of a few ways. You bend the peg down and you peg it into that port on the top of the car, which I find this actually kind of cool. It gives him like a big thruster. Or you could just plug it in right there to the back of the car and make another thruster. And you could flip these up and have them rest on the back of the car. That's kind of cool. Yeah. We'll cover... Yeah, alright, you can pop out this, and you can put a head or a Titan or a Prime Master in these. I just got Megatron floating around, so get you that. And the characters can hold this as a gun. Now, for comparison with Jazz, since I got him, here he is with a Titan Master to show how big a human like us would be as big to one of those cars. Here he is with Legends, Titans Return, Bumblebee, and yes, I painted the rim silver, and Voyager, Titans Return, Megatron. There we go. That's the... I would transform my Combiner Wars Optimus Prime, but he doesn't have much of a truck mode to turn into anymore. So, now that we've got that covered, let's take Jazz and put him into his limb configurations. So, I'm going to raise up. You're going to open these up, and you're going to bring this down. And then you're going to flip up the combiner peg, close this back up, and bring it down on 2 hinges. There are pegs right here that will peg in to ports right here. And there is Jazz in his leg mode. Woo, he's a leg. He can stomp, he can go pew, 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 pew. He can kick you if he was on the leg of a combiner. Alright, let's get him in his arm mode. So you're going to bring this down and unpeg that and just leave this sitting. Unpeg the legs, open them at this panel, bring them all the way out, close up, peg his legs back together, and depending on which way you have them, rotate that. And now this is your own personal preference. You could either just shove the body in there like this, which is what I kind of like doing, or you can go the official way. There are indents right here in his forearm that line up with these black pegs on his body, and he can sit out there. His arm can sit out there like this. But we're gonna go with it my way. Now you can take this, and since I have him like this, the fingers come out. This rotates in, and that goes that way. You were holding really securely the other day. And there is Jazz in his arm form, and he can go in and out. Actually, let's back this out a little, like that. You got that. You got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel. Fingers can move on all that. But let's go into robot mode. So take this out, flip that down, rotate this forward, bring these out, push his head down, bend it, and you want to push from down here until this comes up. Then you want to fold this panel in until it clicks, bring it all the way down, it'll click into place, flip his head up, and flatten out his chest. Now you want to bring his feet down and you'll hear it click. Like that. And then you can flip his arms down. And there is Jazz in his robot mode. And I have to raise up now. But yeah, here is Jazz. And he looks good in his robot mode. I really like how he looks here. A lot of the complaints people have had about this thing is just he looks weird and he has hollow bits in his arms. And he has this on his back. But oh well. Now, there is something I noticed and a lot of people did notice. His wrist here is on a swivel, but you can see he's got panel arms. So, my first thought is I thought the wrist could flip in and could flip out, but I guess I was wrong. And you do see the combiner port right there. I do wish there was a way to cover that up, but oh well. All articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint. He does get some wiggly-waggly. He can do a full 360. He can look up a little. He can look down. Arms can go in and out. Get a full 360. Yeah, that's another thing. His arm moves kind of funny. And arm or wrists are on a ball joint, or bicep is on a ball joint, and wrists can swivel, but they can't really do the. Now, if you pull this out a little, you can get into the waist joint. Legs are on a ball joint that go in and out. They can't really go back, thigh swivel, knee bend, and the toes can move just a smidge. Now, this mode is where this fails. There are two pegs right here where my thumbs are, and there's the portholes that these are supposed to go into. Oh, flip that the wrong way. On my copy, it works, but if you start moving them, it falls off. I definitely prefer Slag's Prime Armor gimmick. You can plug it into his forearm, his wrist, or his hand. What I like doing is I flip it up and I leave it right here on his butt in robot mode. Now let's give him his gun. And there is Jazz all armed up, ready to go fight some Decepticons. Like, pew pew, bang bang. Like, hey, Decepticon, come back here. I'm going to fight you with the power of music. Alright, now for comparison with Jazz. Alright, so here is first with Jazz, Combiner Wars Optimus Prime. You can see they actually look pretty okay together. Yeah, so if you're wondering what happened, that. For Legend Scale, here he is with Titan's Return Bumblebee. That works. And just because I still have it here he is with Titan's Return Megatron. And his face is silver, so. Overall, though, I do think Jazz is a pretty good figure. In my personal opinion, a lot of people had complaints that he didn't have the door wings, but G1 Jazz never had door wings. This is what G1 Jazz was like. Let me slow this down for you guys. There we go. But, yeah, overall, I think Jazz is just pretty cool. He's a combiner, and I do like the combiner gimmick. I don't really treat Jazz that much as a combiner figure, but he's cool. So I think that about does it for my review of the Transformers Generation Power of the Primes Deluxe Class Autobot Jazz. If you guys did like this review, you guys can let me know in the comment section if you have it or if you've picked up this figure already and what are your thoughts on it. Me personally, I like him. If you guys haven't already, also you can check out my various playlists for Transformers, movie stuff, Generations, Power Rangers, whatever. But yeah, that is it for the review. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. Peace. So, Jazz, now that you have the power of the primes, what are you going to do? I'm going to go travel through time and listen to music. Travel through time, listening to music. With the power of the primes. Yeah. Seriously? Mm-hmm. Well, okay then. You go do that. Well, Jack, is Jazz stably alright? Yeah, why? He wants to travel through time and listen to music. He acts like that's a bad thing. Ooh, jazz music from the 60s. Cool.